Hello, inflation fighters. Thank you for joining me today. So it is Friday, so meal plan. Um, it's gonna be a strange one because my husband's on call. So it's hard to gauge many different things, like when he could get called out at dinner time or something. He's an HVAC tech, and it's really going to be stormy and hot this weekend. So, and typically what happens is because we live in a tourist community in Wisconsin, there are a lot of hotels and things like that. And there's one particular one that almost every single time my husband's on call, he gets called out there for something. They hold a lot of weddings. So on the weekend, it makes sense, right? So anyway, it's going to be hard. So all I did was make a list of things that we could have. Some things are very I'll just kind of go over it. Simple supper. Now, if you remember what that is for us, that's soup and sandwiches. So we have a lot of tuna right now, so I'm sure it'll be a tuna of some kind. Tuna salad, sandwiches, and soup. So that's one night. I'm pulling out pork chops out of the freezer. This should be our last round of pork chops. And I still have not tried anything in the air fryer other than those pizzas. So I was getting ready today to make a baked potato in there, which I saw looked fantastic. The outside was kind of crispy and you didn't have to wrap it in foil. It takes about half the time to cook them in the air fryer than it does in the oven, conventional oven. So at any rate, so air fried pork chops at some point, along with some kind of canned veggie, probably corn because we have quite a bit of it. And then we've got some chicken breast, and I'm gonna let him decide what to do with that because sometimes he's a big fajita guy. He loves to have fajitas. So he may want to, depending on his energy levels, he may want to do fajitas if he doesn't get called out or something like that. So there's a really big possibility of that. Then Monday he's off call, so we can kind of start to have somewhat of a normal meal, if you will. But I am going to the church pantry. 2 church pantries this weekend. One is clothes and food, and the other is just food. So a lot of this could change depending on the produce we end up with. We might end up with something else. So, but I'll keep you posted if we, obviously when I get the hauls, we'll take pictures, and when we make if any changes to the plan, that'll be on there. So now a couple updates. We were talking about contentment the other day, and it's so interesting. My husband has changed I wouldn't say changed. The idea of going to a food bank before would be, we used to give to these places, you know what I mean? And now to need them is something else entirely. But he has seen the value of that, and so we're going to continue with it. But what's interesting to me is we're talking about contentment, and it's nice to see my husband embracing experimentation with meats that he's never had. He likes to cook, so he's willing to try just about anything. But we have this roll of beef bologna, and I don't know what he's going to do with it, but he wanted it out of the freezer, so he's either going to try to slice it, which I have no idea what the properties this is going to be. I never saw it before it was frozen, so I don't know if it's pliable or if it's really hard, like a summer sausage or something to that degree. So, but anyway, he's embracing, like, for example, I don't think he ever would have bought in before pre-cooked brats or sausages or anything like that. But no problem anymore. So, he's very content. As long as he's got protein in his belly, he's doing good. So we remember the 2 mantras that we have. Start with free, then go to cheap, then go to on sale, and then full price. And we actually did this this week. We needed hand soap in the bathroom. And a really long time ago, we got, I think it was a 16 pack of Coast soap. And so what I did was I pulled out from my hospitality business I used to have soap racks that are made out of wood, and I put the bar on there. That was free, so we're using it. And then I haven't come across a book yet, but I did come across, sorry, my phone is giving me messages here. I did come across an article that I will put a link to in the description of the episode here, that I thought was really, I wouldn't say the epitome of this, but I mean, I think it was a good primer for contentment. And it comes from a site called Becoming Minimalist. Well, that's a conscious choice, to become a minimalist. But we are in a situation where we're kind of forced to do that. Now, maybe we'll pick up some practices and habits that we'll keep, because I don't know where the economy is going, do you? So, and as far as I can tell, I was listening to a program it's on a website called pain.tv, and the host had a guest on, or shared a story of somebody he knew who is a grocery buyer for national food chains. And he said this was a couple months back now, but he said, I don't see an end of the rising prices in food. Because, he was asked, like, what's the ceiling? When have we hit the plateau? And he just said, I don't think that there is one. At least not yet anyway. So that's that. So some of us are being forced to become minimalist, which I just don't like the name, but I kind of brush off most titles, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But anyway, so like I said, I'll put a link to the article, and if you come across an article or book or anything like that you want to share about creating contentment during these times, that would be great. I'd love to read it. So for now, have a great weekend. Be well, be blessed, and know you're taken care of.